Chioma and Ugo were married for 7 years. And in those 7 years, Chioma only had her husband with her for the month after their wedding. Since then, it had been 6 years and 11 months since she last saw him until he came back a few months ago. They met at the University of Lagos, young and full of dreams. They were happy, dreaming together of a bright future. Ugo shared his aspirations of traveling abroad for greener pastures, and Chioma promised to stand by him when the time came. After graduation, Chioma secured a job with a bank, while Ugo struggled to find employment. Despite his efforts, Ugo remained jobless, and frustration began to seep into their once blissful life. One day, he approached Chioma with a request to get a loan from her bank. As an employee, Chioma's loan application would easily be approved. Ugo explained that he needed the money to fulfill their dreams of moving abroad, promising to repay her as soon as he gets a job. Chioma, blinded by love and hope for their future, agreed and secured a substantial loan. The loan was way above the budgeted plan for his trip, that they decided to use part of the money for their marriage expenses before Ugo's departure. A month after the wedding, Ugo traveled out of the country. And that was the last time they saw physically, except through video calls. As time passed, Ugo's request for more money increased, citing difficulties adjusting to life abroad. Chioma, determined to support her husband, juggled her job responsibilities with financial obligations, including managing to pay their rent, utilities bill, send money to his mother monthly, and even paying the loan she got from the bank. Despite the strain, Chioma remained loyal, believing in their love and shared dreams. Suddenly, Ugo stopped communicating and Chioma endured long stretches of silence, unsure of his well-being or intentions. Her concerns multiplied when he stopped responding altogether for a whole year and 7 months. Desperate for answers, Chioma found herself isolated, with no means of contacting Ugo's friends for information. All his friends that she knew told her they also could not get through to him. Then, out of the blue, her phone rang, and it was Ugo. Chioma's emotions overflowed as she heard his voice when she picked up the phone. Ugo told her not to cry as he was okay, that he had ceased communication for a short while to be able to achieve his balance in the foreign country. They got talking and then he asked her for 2 million. She screamed and asked him, "Where would I get such money from?" He said, "From the bank of course," with a casual demeanor. That there's a business he's trying to set up, and if he starts making money from it, he will pay her for every loan she has collected. Despite her reservations, Chioma agreed to send him 1 million, which is a portion of the requested amount, hoping to maintain their fragile connection. She asked him when is she going to join him. He told her soon and disconnected. He didn't care about how she was coping, how she was paying the loans, how she was taking care of herself and even his mother. He never asked, but he kept asking for more money. As Ugo's demands persisted, Chioma's patience waned, and she began questioning their relationship and Ugo's intentions. As their 6th wedding anniversary approached, Chioma confronted Ugo, urging him to reconsider his priorities and return home if life abroad didn't fulfill his dreams. Ugo's dismissive response left Chioma feeling dejected and abandoned, grappling with the realization that their marriage had become a one-sided burden. Meanwhile, at Chioma's workplace, she faced another challenge when her boss made inappropriate advances at her. She respectfully declined and told him she is a married woman. The boss laughed at her and asked her, "Married to who? And how long have you seen your husband? How come you're this blind to what is happening under your nose?" he said. The boss kept insisting and she kept refusing, leading to her unjust dismissal. Alone and vulnerable, Chioma got home and called her husband on video call. But he never picked. Instead, another woman picked. She told her she wants to speak with Ugo and the lady says her brother isn't around. It was obvious Ugo lied to the other lady that Chioma is his sister. So, she didn't bother to ask the lady who she was. She just said okay and disconnected the call. Few hours later, Ugo called and asked her why she called without him calling her first. That he had told her not to call him till he calls her. She apologized and told him she lost her job. That her boss was making advances at her but she refused. Ugo criticized and blamed her for her predicament instead of supporting her decision. In his defense, she should have acted mature and accepted the offer. That they would have been more money for themselves. Chioma was shocked and at the same time angry. In anger, she disconnected the call and she started crying over what Ugo said. She never believed he would tell her to accept such. The next day, Ugo's mother, that hasn't visited the house since her son traveled, came around. She rushed to collect her bag from her, but Mama pushed her harshly to the point of her falling down. In pains and still on the floor, she asked her what she did wrong to deserve this. The mother-in-law said she has done everything wrong. You seized the money my son sent to me this month, you refuse to give me grandchildren, you refuse to leave my son to marry another woman who will give me grandchildren, Mama fumed in anger. Chioma knows nothing is her fault, but she still pleaded with Mama for forgiveness. That she would do better. Mama looked at her with hatred and shouted at her to go and give her something to eat. Immediately she brought the food, Mama poured the food on her, calling her a barren woman. That she has been married to her son for 7 years and no children to show for it. So she must leave the house, and Mama started throwing her things out of the house. Chioma sent her husband a text, telling him what was happening. Ugo then called her on a video call and asked her to give his mother the phone. He spoke to Mama to leave Chioma alone because she has done nothing wrong. Mama kept insisting that she should leave the house for another woman to come give him children. Henry told his mother that she should leave his wife alone, and disconnected the phone. Mama got angry and started insulting Chioma, calling her a witch that has bewitched her son. Chioma kept pleading with her that she's sorry. Mama then asked her why she seized her monthly money that her son sent to her. Chioma had no choice but to open up and told her she's been the one sending her money from her own earnings. That her son has never sent her any money since he left the country. Mama said she's lying. Rita also told her she's been the one sending her some money as well, but Mama got angry and left the house. The next day, Chioma went to the beach to do some thinking and cool off her head. There, she met Ben, a very handsome man. They got talking and she found out Ben was funny. She laughed a lot that day. Then they got serious in their talks and she told Ben all that has been happening to date. He was surprised she went through all that for a marriage of 7 years, yet she had only been with her husband for just a month and she had stayed faithful all this while. Ben promised to help her get a job. Unknown to her, Ben is a boss to a well-known company with many branches scattered here and abroad. But he never told her this. First thing he did was to get her a job in one of the branches of his company and helped her in clearing the bills on ground. She was very happy and thanked him. As they became good friends, Ben told her he liked her, but we respect the fact that she's a married woman, even if she's oblivious to what is truly happening in her marriage. Ben even told her he wouldn't be surprised if Ugo has another family abroad, which could be the reason why he hasn't come home since he left. She got upset over that and Ben quickly apologized. One day, she got back home from work and met Ugo at home. He never informed her that he was coming back home. She was surprised and happy at the same time. The next day, she told Ugo she wants them to go for fertility test. She has been having this nagging feeling for some time now. All the while they were in school, she had never missed her period. And in that 1 month before he traveled, she was supposed to be pregnant, but she didn't get pregnant. When she told Ugo why she needed the test done, Ugo was ready to do it. Because he believed he was very fertile. After all, I have 2 kids abroad, he thought to himself. They went for the test, and when the results came out, she was very fertile while Ugo was infertile. He couldn't believe it because he has 2 children abroad. So he said they should go for another test in another hospital, and she agreed. The same result was seen. He then insisted for a third test in a different hospital, and Chioma got upset and shouted at him. "We should be thinking of what to do, not waste our time going from hospital to hospital," she shouted in anger. At night, when he thought Chioma was asleep, he went outside to call his doctor friend who is abroad. He asked him if he still has a sample of the sperm he donated to his hospital. His friend, who's a doctor abroad, confirmed yes that it hasn't been used. He then told the friend to conduct a fertility test with the sperm. The friend asked him what this was all about. How can he ask for fertility test after 2 children? He then opened up to his friend that he has a wife here and that they went for fertility test and it says he's infertile. The friend wasn't happy about him having 2 wives but went ahead to do the test. Meanwhile, he never knew Chioma was behind him, listening to the conversation. After the call, he saw Chioma and started pleading with her for forgiveness. She cried till morning and then said she has forgiven him and that they shouldn't let his mother to know of this till they found a solution. But the next day, Mama came again, bringing troubles as usual. She went straight to Chioma's room and started throwing her bags outside. Chioma was begging her to stop. But Ugo did nothing and just watched. Mama told Chioma to leave her son. That the other wife will be coming in 2 days' time with her grandchildren from abroad. Grandchildren that she, the barren Chioma, couldn't give her. It dawned on Chioma that Mama had known all this while that Ugo had a wife and children abroad. No wonder Mama started calling her barren and started mistreating. Chioma cried bitterly. Ugo just stood there watching as Chioma's bags were being thrown out by his mother. He never said anything. She picked up her bags and went to stay at her cousin's place. Ugo called her to know where to reach her and she told him where she is. 2 days after, she got a notice of divorce from Ugo. She called him to explain himself but Ugo told her to just sign it. Since he can't bear more children, she should remarry and have children because he already has children. In anger, she asked him, "How sure are you that you are the father to those children?" and she dropped the call. She signed the divorce papers and was free again. What she said kept nagging Ugo. So when his doctor friend gave him the result of the test, it confirmed his fears that he was truly infertile. Ugo then told his friend to conduct a DNA test on the kids. His friend told him he already did that immediately he saw the test result, and that the kids are not his. Ugo shouted and broke down in tears. That was when he told his mother the whole truth. That he was played. The kids are not his. That he's infertile. "Mama, all that I labored for almost 7 years are all gone. The kids are not mine. All my money gone. Where do I start from again?" he cried to his mother. "What do you mean by all gone? Have you tried contacting your wife abroad to know what she has to say?" Mama asked him, also crying. "I've been calling her since my friend told me about the result and the kids. And it's not going through," he said. "I told my friend to help me check if she's still in our house abroad. He said no one is there. And the whole house is empty," he cried. "The worst of it all is that Chioma knew about my situation and was willing to stay. She even told me not to tell you till we find a solution. But Mama, you sent her away," he kept crying. "You kept calling me while I was away that my wife is seen going about with different men. That she's a whore. You advised me to settle down with another woman. That she has defiled our marriage," he continued. "See where your advice has led me to. You've destroyed my life, Mama. I should have known better. I've been with Chioma for a long time to know who she truly is and what she can do. But you kept convincing me otherwise and sending me pictures of her and other men. Is it a crime to talk to other men? I should have known better. You allowed your hatred for Chioma to ruin my marriage and my life," he cried more. That was when it dawned on Mama that their lineage was going to be over since Ugo was the only child. And no woman would want to have him with this condition. She had to make a decision for them to go look for Chioma and beg for her forgiveness. Meanwhile, Chioma has moved on and was now engaged to Ben. It was after the engagement that Ben told her of his wealth and companies. She could not believe that after all she went through she'll be getting married finally to someone who loves and adores her, and who is also multinational CEO. Also, she's pregnant with Ben's child. She couldn't be more happy for this gift. Ugo and his mother has been looking everywhere for her. When they finally saw her, they saw her stomach was round with a baby. And she was looking more beautiful and glowing. They both went on their knees and begged for forgiveness. She told them she had forgiven them both. That was when they told her their predicament. So, please my dear, can you help us in saving our lineage by giving us the baby you are carrying? We'll forever be grateful, Mama said. She looked at them and felt pity for Ugo because he was a pawn in Mama's plot. In the end, Chioma chose to follow her heart, embracing the love and happiness she found with Ben while granting Ugo the forgiveness he sought. As she looked toward the future, Chioma embraced her new life with hope, knowing that she had so much to be grateful for. If you enjoyed this story, please make sure to click on the like button, share, subscribe to this channel and turn on the notification bell for more sweet stories like this one.